Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good afternoon. Good afternoon. Okay, so apa khabar semua? How are you? Sihat ke?
Sihat, Doktor.
Okay, alright. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm happy to hear that. Okay, semua orang sihat. So today is Thursday. Jadi besok dah cuti. Alright. Okay, so what we are going to discuss today is actually one of actually a very important chapters in our FYP, which is chapter 2. So chapter 2 is actually I can say is the anchor of the your direction of your thesis. All right. So literature review. Okay, everybody has to do it. You got no option. Okay, you cannot avoid it. So you need to do this literature review, and we need to do it. In a very systematic way in order for our FYP to be to be valid and also to make sure it goods. Okay, it looks good. Right. So how actually to write this literature review? Okay. People next week. Okay, next week we won't have class on Sunday because we need to celebrate Deepavali with our Indian friends. Okay, so no class on Sunday, but we need to replace the class. And then can I ask whether do you have class hari Kamis pukul 12? At what time do you finish your class on Thursday?
Hari Khamis ada 11 sampai 11 sampai
Kamis.
Sekejap.
11 sampai?
11. 11
Okey, Mira.
sampai 1.
Oh, 11 sampai 1. Okay. Alright, okay. So because I'm thinking maybe kalau tak ada kelas, maybe we can, cepatkan kelas and macam gitu. Because, the problem with me, every Thursday afternoon, I always have macam faculty meeting. Ada saja. So, kadang I rasa it's not a good time. Alright, so I keep cancelling the class. And then so perayaan lah, apalah macam itu, public holiday also on Thursday. So can we just can you please find maybe 1 hour, okay, 1 hour next week to replace our Sunday, because you know what, I would like to introduce you all with a software called EndNote. Okay, EndNote where actually can really help us to do literature review easier and also more systematic. Okay, so and then I also would like everybody to install EndNote from our CICT and the UTM, right? So the software is actually available from UTM CICT. Okay, so please get me 1 hour next week to replace our Sunday. Maybe lunch hour, maybe 1 to 2 is still okay. It's just that to introduce you all with to that software. Okay. So discuss among you all and then let me know. Okay, we can also discuss this matter in our WhatsApp group. Okay? All right. So literature review. What is it all about? Okay. Oops. Terus end pula. Okay. Tersilap tekan button. Okay, so the purpose of this chapter is for you to understand the concept of literature review. Okay, for those who have the book, please make sure you turn to page 42. As I said, go along. Okay, our discussion today. Please make sure. Sorry, apa dia?
44.
Siapa? 44. Okay. Itu buku baru Buku baru ke?
Yes, Doktor.
Okay. 42 untuk orang lama, 44 untuk orang baru. Okay. So please make sure you highlight the important points. Okay. So because it's not just test and also for your final exam. This class is actually for your FYP, where you need to use it, okay, till the end of semester before you submit your thesis, your FYP. So therefore, it is very important for you to understand the concept, the process, and how to do it effectively and efficiently. Right. So then we also will learn how to actually do the literature resources to find it, okay, and then to understand the various styles of in-text and end referencing. So these are the two things that it actually it's similar, but the way we write it is different. Okay, so I'm going to explain it to you after this. And then we're also going to understand the ethics in literature review writing. Okay, before we finish, after we finish, okay, discussing this chapter, so we will continue with our presentation. Okay, don't forget that. All right, so let's continue to the next slide. Okay, the need of the critical literature review. Why we say it is a critical? Because as I said, it is the anchor of our whole thesis, all right? Besides data analysis, which is chapter 4. So chapter 2, before you can proceed to your chapter 3, your chapter 4, and also your chapter 5, you need to do your review first. Okay, so after your literature review, then you can go back to your chapter 1, your problem statement, your introduction, in order to refine whatever you have written and you have decided in your chapter 1. Okay, also I would like to remind you all that, okay, the topic of your FYP, okay, is actually is not fixed. Okay, so you don't have to worry much. Okay, until let's say tomorrow you need to submit your P, you still can change your topic at the very last minute. Okay, so topic is actually we can always change it. Okay, but your literature must be very solid and must be very good in order for you to understand the whole study, right? So it says that research is not done in a vacuum. What does it mean? Okay, we are not alone. Okay, when we do something, when we do our work, we do our study, we cannot stand alone. Other people, we need some information, some sources from other people to help our study, right? So other researchers on similar topics can be numerous. There are so many people maybe have done the similar topic like yours. Okay, so for example, you want to do something on what should I say? Okay, I give you example in our project. Okay, assignment. So there are many other people done on the foreign workers, but just that the scope might be different than ours. So actually, it is very important for us to check and to look at those people studies, right? So that's what we call it as previous studies. Okay, so we need to choose the relevant research for reference. Okay, so it means that since there are many studies which is similar to our topic but not actually related to our topic. So therefore, we need to find actually papers and references that really related to our topic. Okay. So for example, okay, some people they do on let's say what should I say? Method. Like say some people they do using inferential statistics, okay? But yours is actually you are doing correlation, for example. So therefore, it is better for you to find papers that do correlation, apply correlation in their studies for you to refer to. Okay, so literature review will bring the researcher to the current state of theory and methodology. So what does it mean? So because when we refer to other people's work, so at least we know, okay, this is the most up to date work that have been done for that topic. Okay, so for example, I give you, okay, right. So for our FYP, okay, for FYP, actually we only accept literature from 2010 until 2020. So the gap is only 10 years, okay? But we prefer more if you can get literature for 5 years, which is 2015 until 2020, okay? Only, okay, except that if you use any certain model or theory that is actually already developed long time ago, like for example in 1961, okay, so that one you can put it in your study. But for other than theories or models, okay, we need to use all the references between 2010 until 2020. Okay, so it means that let's say you want to do your PSM in 2 more semesters, so it will be like 2012 and 2022, for example 2021, something like that, right? Okay, it serves to refine the research at hand. So why? Because at least we know which one is actually something that is more up to date, more related to our the country and Malaysia, for example Malaysia development in terms of social science, management, and so on. Okay, so we don't want to like to do something that feel is not really good. For example, when you graduate and then you try to mention it during your katakan interview, and then when your employer asks you, okay, what actually you did for your thesis, okay, your final project, and then you say, okay, I did blah 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 blah, but actually that your employer, your potential employer said, okay, that one is actually we don't use it anymore, okay, is already outdated, okay, for example. So we don't want that to happen. So it's like for example you need to relate something to very popular in terms of among the industry people, IR 4.0, for example, that one, okay. And then we also have like more up to date methods in terms of now we are looking for digital, digital approach. So anything like if you are interested in economy, so everything now of digital, okay, no more they don't do it manual. So for the operation people, so it's more we use like automated, okay, so no more manual. So you need to relate those with your kajian or your study. And then it helps identify identical research so that it will not be repeated. Okay, as I said, because you search for your literature and then suddenly you want to do this topic, and then found that okay, this person do similar topic that you want, the same company, the same organization, and also in Malaysia, for example, exactly the same. So it means that one cannot be done. Okay, so the purpose of doing a research, we need to introduce something different, okay, something new. So it cannot be similar, it cannot be 100% equal to the previous study. Okay, faham ke? Ada faham kah? So I just
Faham, Doktor.
Faham, Doktor.
want to talk alone, right? Okay, thank you very much. Okay, Dini, apa khabar Dini hari ni? Sihat ke?
Alhamdulillah sihat. Saya baru lepas masak, Doktor.
Apa dia?
Baru lepas masak, Doktor.
You masak? You masak apa?
Tadi saya baru lepas masak apa nama? Spaghetti.
You masak ke you makan ni?
Masak serius.
Masak apa?
Spaghetti.
Oh, spaghetti. Okay, next time, okay, make it second time, alright? When you masak second time, invite saya, alright? So I like spaghetti, okay?
Boleh, Doktor.
Alright, thank you. Alright, so how should a literature section be placed in your write-up, okay? So literature section, usually we have a special chapter for it, which is chapter 2. But still, starting from a chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and also chapter 5, except we all need to make literature review for those chapters. Chapter 4 is exception. Why? Because that one is analysis chapter. It all belongs to you. You don't have to refer to other people's work. Okay, chapter 4. But chapter 1, you need to refer to people's work. Chapter 2, memang lah because it's literature review chapter. And then chapter 3 also, you need to refer to books, to articles, and then some other people's information. Okay, so and then separate section. This we are talking chapter 2 now. So dalam your chapter 2, you must discuss, okay, what model related to your study. Okay, so you which model actually will you use? Okay, so for example, in terms of personality, there are many kinds of models for personality, right? So let's say you something like big five personality, all right? So that will be your model. Okay, so then you need to discuss the concept of big five, and then the definition of big five, and what some of the related literature or related work from other people that have been done under that same model, right? So that's what we call it as literature review. So what you need to discuss in your chapter, you need to find the specific model or related model to your study, and then you need to explain the concept, and then you need to do some definition and description about that model and also that theory, and then you need to find the theory related to that model also. And the last one, you need to discuss the previous studies. What does it mean? It means that you need to find any papers, any articles, any work that people have also used model in their study, right? Okay, next one. This is actually what also applied to UTM, okay, AHIPS. So your title, okay, for your work cannot be more than 15 words, okay? So even you sometimes you use you use the, okay, it also counted as one word, right? So you need to be as possible, but it must be meaningful, right? So, and then this is a part of the article. So what does it mean with an article? So an article is actually a paper published in a journal or somewhere, in a book, in a journal, in a book chapter, in a magazine or whatever. So that one is called an article. But for us, for the academician, we more concentrate on journal articles. Okay, what does journal article? All the the public, what should I say, your work, you write it in a proper way, follow the format of required, and then you publish it in any journal, academic journals. There are thousands, okay, academic journals in the world, but it's just that we have a certain rank, okay, whether it's a good journal or it's a bad journal, right? So, yeah, when you want to submit in a journal, so usually your title cannot be more than 15 words, and then it must describe the entire article. So, what does it mean? So, your tajuk, your title, it must have, okay, so for example, your variables that you want to study, okay, and then who will be your respondents, okay, and then where are you going to do that study? Usually we have these three things, and also four. your method. Okay, so these 4 things you must summarize it in your title. Okay, so generally it's best to keep the title short. Few words may not properly describe the article. So for example, you want to do suddenly foreign workers, that's all you write. So it's not be specific, because people won't understand actually what you want to do, where you want to do it. Okay, what is actually the scope of your study. And then, okay, the next that you to pay attention is to how to write an abstract. So an abstract is actually a summary of your chapter 1 until your chapter 5. So you need to write it in a very brief, okay? And then usually for UTM or HIPS, we prefer you to write it in 1 paragraph, okay? So usually limited to less than 200 or 300 words. So you need to explain a very brief one, summarize as you have done from chapter 1 until chapter 5, but in just 1 paragraph. Okay. So usually what people do, okay, when they, for example, when we do this literature review, we are not going to write, we are not going to read the whole article. So for example, an article have like 15 or 20 pages, but we are not sure whether that article is really related to our work or not. So therefore, it is better if we write, if we read the abstract. Okay, so by reading the abstract, you can see, oh, this person is doing this and using this and to this kind of respondents and using this approach. So at least you can decide whether the article actually is a good reference for your study or not, just by reading the abstract. Okay, this is contoh. Ya.
Nak tanya yang title tadi kena ada method, variable dengan lagi 2 apa?
4 saya terangkan. 1 variable.
Okay.
Okay, dah. Yang kedua is your method.
Okay.
Okay, the third one respondents. And the last one, the fourth one is location. Di mana?
Alright, thank you, Doctor.
You're welcome. Okay. Right, this is a contoh of abstract. Okay, I think for my student who took statistics class last semester dengan I, so you have seen this one before in our chapter 1. Okay, so this is my own abstract. Okay, so we just write in 1 paragraph, as you can see, is very brief, but actually it tells everything, okay, of my work for this paper, right? So I give some introduction, okay, just 1 sentence, 2 sentences here. Okay, for example, among the challenging problem, blah blah blah. And then this one, okay, regardless of their qualification, there is my aim, okay, my aim of study, right? And then human resource, however, need reliable information. That is the aim of my study. And then I start introducing. That one is actually my chapter 1, right? And then starting from inverse ability, blah blah blah. That one is my chapter 3. I'm telling my method, what actually I'm going to use, what I have used in my study, right? Until blah blah, and then my method. Okay, so okay, this one I don't have. I only introduce the way my instrument, so I don't have any results. Okay, so and then the next one after the abstract, we need to write keywords. Okay, so the keywords is very important. Why? When people search in Google ke, you want, for example, they want to find fuzzy theory. Okay, that's their keyword. Okay, when they type in Google, so our paper will come out because it match with your search. You understand that? Okay, so that's why to to decide what will be your keywords also important. Okay, because we want people to make sure whenever they want to search something, they will get our paper. So our paper will be more, orang kata more popular and more to researchers in the world. All right. So in this term, okay, usually keywords we don't write more than five. Five, I think, is the maximum. Don't put, like 10 keywords. No need. All right. So the best is actually 2 till 5. All right. And then, for example, my keywords here, I use fuzzy theory, multiple intelligence theory, people with epilepsy. Okay, so as I said, this is my approach, my method. Okay, this is the theory that I use in my study. This is my respondent. So can you see, right? Okay, this is another abstract. Okay, so kepimpinan kerja. This one is emotional intelligence towards work performance. All right. So and then you can see the keywords here: leadership, emotional intelligence, and work performance. And then if you can see, it is also related to the tajuk. Okay, the tajuk also have those things, those key, right? So you see, to write an abstract, okay, for example, you start with the aim of this study for you to introduce. Actually, this one comes from your chapter 1, okay? And then the focus of analysis is to blah, blah, blah. And then you can see this one, this research use skill instrument. That one is chapter 3, your methodology. We're going to learn that one later, all right? In one of our classes, right? So, and then this research siapa? Actually done 100 staff of Bersatu Sendirian Berhad. And then, okay, usually what we did, we always emphasize on the method and how we implement, how we conduct our study. That one is very important in abstract, okay? So last, you can see this one is actually, the result is actually represent chapter 4, okay? So the results show that there is a positive correlation between leadership, emotional intelligence, and performance at office. So the keywords: leadership, emotional intelligence, and work performance. Right, faham tak? Is everybody okay? Okay, thank you, Christopher. Right, so because you know what, every single thing that we do actually in our chapter 1, chapter 2, okay, is actually lead us to the next chapter, right? Right. So this is another example about e-marketing, okay? A literate, some people they just publish a paper, an article only on the literature. It's okay, right? So just on your chapter 2, you publish a paper in somewhere, all right? So it is also acceptable. Okay, I give you this is actually abstract, okay, also an abstract, but it is written in different format. Okay, because some journal, okay, some journal or some book, for example, for some publisher, they require us to in this format. This one is also quite popular, right? So instead of in one paragraph, your abstract, you need to write it according to a subtopic. So what is your objective, your approach, your methodology, for example, your results, and the implication. So some publisher they require you to write in this way, so you need to follow their way, right? Okay, part of an article. So okay, I'm going to discuss this one. So I already share you an article in our WhatsApp group, so we're going to refer that one. Okay, parts of an article. So if you, okay, I want to try to open, okay, that, okay, is it? Okay, the social economy. Can you check that one? That one is also my friends. Okay. Alright. So apa yang you must have in a paper, in article. So the first thing, you must have an introduction section. So exactly like your chapter 1 in your thick thesis, your actual thesis, all right? So introduction, why we need this introduction part? Okay, because it will tell people, okay, the information of our work in detail. Okay, so here the author puts forth his research issues that come up with a problem statement. Before we get the problem statement, usually we must introduce our work to people. Why we want to do this research. Okay. Right, so that is the first part. If you can see, semua orang boleh buka ke yang saya share? The socio-economic impacts of the foreign workers on the community of Pengerang Kota Tinggi. Ke you all
Boleh, doktor.
tahu apa yang berlaku sekarang?
Boleh buka, doktor. Tengah buka.
Thank you, Mira, for giving me some positive answer. Okay, thank you. Okay, so kita refer. If you can, I'm using my phone, looking at that paper. Kita tengok slide dekat my laptop. So at least we can go through. So dekat dalam satu paper, because you know what, it is a compulsory. Nanti when you do your PSM or your FYP, you need to write an like I think it's 10 pages, 5 to 10 pages. Okay, it is a must, compulsory for everyone. So that's the reason you need to understand what are the sections are parts in an article that you need to write. Okay, right. So next one. Okay. And then, okay, as I said, it all sometimes depends on the requirement and format required from the publisher. Okay, so how to read and evaluate an article? Bila kita baca artikel, okay, after we search, you know, we found many articles, but we need to decide actually which one is good, which one is not good. When I say it's good, one, we need to look whether it is really related to our work, our topic. Second, where does it appear? Where does it publish? Okay, so if it is published in a very popular, international, and very good journal, then we consider that articles is a very good to be our reference. So, suggested steps in reading and evaluating an article. Okay, first you need to look at the title. Okay, kalau you do A and then you found the title B, so it means it doesn't match. Okay, so you cannot take that one as your reference. So if you doing A and then you find an article A so almost A, so okay lah, you can consider KIV that article. All right. So and then if you are doing and then you found article about A, then absolutely, definitely you can take that one as your reference. Okay. Second, as I said, read the abstract. Okay, so let me look at my paper. So you can see abstract is actually the first part that we need to write before the content. That one is a must in every single journal article. So from the abstract, okay, let's say we are doing foreign Kulai, but this one in Pengerang, but okay, it has socio-economic impacts, but we are doing only the social part, for example. Let's read, okay? Or maybe, okay, the community, okay, maybe we can use it because we have something like, the impact of the foreign workers. Maybe we can use for our study in Kulai, for example. Yeah, we can keep this one as our reference, okay? Next, read the introduction part. Okay, so because the introduction part, it provide a more detailed pictures of the articles, what actually that person do. Okay, explain the issues at hand. Okay, look at what what actually they say. Okay, is it something that you can that you can apply to your study? If yes, yeah, you can maybe borrow some of the ideas. All right, and then how about the problem statement? Okay, here some paper, okay, in some don't have exactly, they write it as problem statement. But some articles, yes, they have a special subsection called problem statement. But problem statement usually we mention it in at the end of our introduction part. Okay. So for example, this one it says therefore. Okay, if you look at a very last sentence, okay, before section 2, so it says therefore specific is crucial in studying the impact of sudden high influx of foreign workers into a small town like Pengerang. Okay, so that's actually their problem statement. After they have introduced all their work, that's the aim of the research. Okay, and then how can we decide? Okay, so we are the judge, right? We need to decide whether the article is suitable for us to use or not. Okay, so you need to ask yourself, right? Okay, body of an article. Okay, so body of an article, so we must have literature review. So in this paper, in this article that I share with you, the literature review is actually the past studies. Okay, that one is actually equivalent to the literature review, the past studies. And then next, we must have methodology. Yeah, we have number 3, methodology. And then also we need to have analysis, all right? In this case, the methodology and then the analysis and results are combined in number 4, which is the findings, all right? So you can see that one, right? And then the last one, we have conclusions and also recommendations. Okay, number 5. And then the last one, acknowledgement. Okay, people, for the acknowledgement for the very, very formal article like this, you cannot say, oh, thank you to my kucing, Chomel for obey me all the time. Okay, I love you so much. Okay, to my very good friend. Okay, thank you for helping me typing, and make me some cup of tea every time I do my work. No such thing, right? It's going to be very formal. First, you need to thank UTM and AHIPS. That's the first one. Second, it will be your supervisor. No matter whether you like your supervisor or not, you need to acknowledge your supervisor in your acknowledgement. Understand? And then third comes if you have any sponsor or you have any like collaboration with other people, then you need to mention them. All right. So no such thing to my family, to my adik, my abah, my kak, my tokcik. No need. All right. Unless in your FYP, in the acknowledgement page, yeah, you can do that. But not in the formal writing. Ada faham ke? Faham ke? I tak tahu. Janganlah korang tidur. Saya ni cakap beria tau. Korang duk tidur je. Alright, so this is the paper that I share with you. So you can see the abstract. We just read the abstract. So we have the introduction. This one is the wajib section that you must have in article. So this one past studies is actually the literature study, but you can call it past studies or whatever. And then this one, the third, methodology, how you do your work. And then this one, all right, the findings is actually the analysis and also findings, all right. And the last one is your conclusion, right, and acknowledgement. So if you can see my acknowledgement here, I didn't even say thank you to my beloved husband, to my sons, and no such thing, all right. So we must be very formal. The authors, I would like to thank the Ministry of Higher Education, UTM Institute of Strategic Innovation for their financial support because they are my sponsor for this research grant. Okay, and then for sure, if we receive any grant or financial support, we need to mention what kind of grant it is, right? And then the last one is our references. Okay, is everybody okay semua? Faham ke?
Okay,
Faham.
doktor.
I hope you. Okay.
Doktor.
Right. Why did I share you this paper? Yeah.
Doktor paper,
Saya
doktor
okey
tak
apa?
nampak.
Saya okey orang. Ya, ya. Intan tak nampak apa Intan?
Yang doktor tunjuk, yang doktor cakap yang
Paper ni.
ha.
Begini yang saya cakap sebenarnya saya tak share Intan. Okay, thank you Intan. Kenapa lah orang kata nampak padahal dia orang tak nampak Intan. Right.
Saya ingatkan lain
Ya,
saya.
betul lah kan dia orang ni. Dia orang ni semua cakap nampak. Saya tak share pun. Baru nampak. Kan Intan? Nampak tak ni? Barulah nampak kan? Okay, so this is what I just talk about. Okay, so we have the abstract introduction. The past study is actually our literature study. Okay, you don't have to worry because this one is already in your WhatsApp group. So you can download it and also you can keep it as your reference. Why did I share this one dengan you all? Because this paper is related to our class project, which is the foreign workers in Kulai, in Johor, right? So it's almost similar, but it's just that slightly different. Okay, the research scope is different. Okay, this is maybe before you didn't see this one, the one that I mentioned about acknowledgement. So put it, very straightforward. We must really thank, like as I said, because Ministry of Higher Education, because I got the grant from them, and also UTM, because I also got research grant from them, and also the Johor Institute of Strategic, also the grant from them. Okay, the combination, actually the grant combination between the Ministry of Education and also Johor Strategic Innovation, all right, and also UTM. So I received actually 2 different for this study, right? Okay, and then this is the reference, okay, that I say. So we are going to learn how to write the reference, okay? I hope, yeah, we still can do that one, all right? So we go back to our, kalau if I, no. Okay. So let me go back to my slides, okay? Okay. Right. So, okay, what do we need in order to conduct the literature review? For sure, the first thing, we need all this 3G, 4G, 5G thing, right? And then we need a device, either it's a laptop, whether it's a computer, whether it's a phone, okay, smartphone. So you need that one in order for you to conduct the literature review, and you must be connected to the internet. No internet is going to be hard. Why? You need to go to the library and find the hard copy from the library. So it's going to be a little bit harder and time consuming, right? So, and then the next one, you need to identify the search engines, okay? And then identify search strategy, how we want to do that, right? So this one very important, right? So literature search strategy, you must know actually what actually your subject related to. So for example, is it social science, business management, you have like innovation, you have operation, for example, or do you have any specific author that you know? All right. And then publication period. This is the one that I just told you. The publication period should be 2010 until 2020, or the best actually 2015 to 2020. Okay. And the language of publication, you can choose English or Malay. It's up to you, right? So, but the most famous paper, okay, in the world is written in English. Even like some French papers, there is a translation for it, okay? And even in, for example, in Mandarin, in, Tamil or whatever, so we still have, sometimes we have an option. The writer wrote it in two different languages. Okay, they already translated into English. Okay, and then economy sector. So, for example, it's up to you. So you want to focus, let's say, for innovation, for operation, and then for management, okay, and then for like psychology or whatever, right? And geographical areas. So we more focus not just in Malaysia. Okay, what we are going to search is more for the whole world. But in our case, for our class project for the foreign workers, we are more focusing on Malaysia. All right. And then literature type. So many types. So we can have journals. The one that I say is very good journals, and then books, online journals, etc. Okay. And one problem when I did my PhD long time ago, yeah. So the advantage that I have where I need, first masa buat PhD, so the like this internet online literature is not that many like today. Masa saya buat masters lagi haru. There's no such thing as online. Everything I need to go to the library and find my literature. But when I did my PhD, much better, right? So, but the advantage during that time, everything that I get, even it is limited, all right, but I got it free. But nowadays, no more. Many good papers and from good journals, you need to pay before you can get that article. Okay, so that's the reason sometimes UTM subscribe this kind of journal in order for us get the articles without paying. So actually UTM dah bayarkan untuk kita, right? So that's the disadvantage and this advantage and disadvantage of before and after, before and now. Okay, one is actually citations, okay? Sebenarnya now we are talking about reference. When I say reference, benda yang kita dapat dekat belakang, when you look at the paper that I share with you, so I have the reference, the references kat sini. Yang bahagian bawah akhir sekali. So references and citations is actually they are twins, but different twins, okay? So what does it mean by that? Let me explain. Okay, citation is an in-text and bibliographic reference. Okay, so the purpose is to maintain academic integrity by acknowledging books of other on the topic. Okay, as I said, we are not doing our work in a vacuum, right? So we need other people works to refer to. So apa yang you kena buat? So whenever you take other people's work, other people's sentence, other people's paragraph or whatever, you need to acknowledge where you get it from. Okay, that one is very important. For example, you look at my paper, you need to refer to I got it from Awang 2010, for example, right? So people know, oh, these people actually get the idea from this author named Awang in 2010, all right? Like that. Why do we need to do that? In academic world, we cannot do plagiarism. We cannot plagiarize other people's work. Copy and paste is not allowed. If you are found by the authors, the originals, you let's say you copy exactly the words, the idea, they can sue you and can inherit you to court. Okay, so you need to be very careful. Okay, this is an example of citations. So citations is actually all the references that you write it in your text. Okay, dalam ni. So you tulis blah 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 blah, and then you katakan this one is quite Awareness of one blah blah emotions is actually ni this sentence, all right? So what this author is trying to say, okay, this sentence about awareness of emotions state, actually the idea comes from Avril 1980, right? So you need to acknowledge the original author. Faham tak? Okay, so if you can see, there are different ways of the citation, the format. Okay, when it comes to the end of a sentence, it will be the name of the author and comma year in a bracket. Okay, so but if it is in front of a sentence, at the beginning of a sentence, you need to write the author's name and the year in a bracket. Okay, so there are different ways of writing it. Okay, faham tak? Terus asalnya,
Faham doktor, dah belajar masuk lab tahun lepas. Sem
so let
lepas.
me explain it to you. Apa yang saya lepas? Apakah itu? Saya
Ni,
lepas, tolong cerita
belajar-
sikit kat saya.
Belajar citation dengan reference masa ULAB tahun lepas.
So you all dah ada memang belajar lah.
Yes, doktor.
Ada sikit.
Itu
Ada sikit belajar.
pura-pura lupa.
Citation.
Itu pura-pura.
Lupa.
Alah, itu
Dia
sebenarnya
ajar
saja
macam ingat balik.
lah tu. Okay. Let me see, okay. Alright. Okay, sebenarnya untuk citation, okay, as I said, citation ialah dekat dalam teks tau. Reference yang kat belakang. Okay, so actually whenever you write in your citation, you must also have at the end of your, in your reference list. Okay, so for example, saya kasih contoh, dia ada beberapa jenis format. Okay. Right. One. Okay, I just use name. So when you want paper, so please make sure actually what name you want to use. My last name. Public.
Sorry doktor. Doktor. Doktor lag.
Oh,
Dan doktor lag.
okay, dah okay tak?
Okey dah.
Sebab saya tarik meja saya.
Oh.
Saya tarik meja, jadi dia bergerak sikit. Mikro meja ni sangat. Okay. Dengar dah? Okay. Sini. Bila kita nak publish paper nanti, macamlah kan, you nak tulis novel ke, you nak tulis apa, selalunya kita ada nama glamour, you know. So the same thing for this, orang cakap for publication. You want to publish, make sure you have one name lah yang you want to use for your publication, right? So for example, saya gunakan Awang. Okay, that's the reason I rasa my father become more for me, okay, in terms of academic world, okay. So let's say Awang, okay, in the beginning, all right, so I just write Awang, for example, 2019, claim that, all right, blah blah blah. Ini dekat depan, right? This is the format that you need to write it. This is the way. Faham? Is everybody okay kah?
Okey doktor.
Okey doktor.
Okay, very good. So what happened if you yeah, Christopher, okay, Chris? All right, great. Okay, how about the people? I keep calling the same people. Mungkin ada yang kecil hati dengan saya. let me ask, Ryan? Ryan, are you here?
Yes, dokter.
Okay, so okay ke? Dengar ke tidur?
Dengar, dokter.
You dengar ke you tidur?
Dengar,
Okay,
dokter.
jangan. Okay. Ideal? Ideal? Ideal?
Ya, doktor.
Oh, dia baru lari. Are you from where? Ke atas katil? Are you on your bed or what? Lying on your bed? While sleeping? What time is Indonesia now? Okay, Arman.
Doktor.
Arman,
Ya, doktor.
apa khabar?
Baik.
Okay, you kat Kelantan ke?
Ah.
You Kelantan ke Terengganu ah?
Lantai, doktor.
Kelantan, okay, alright. Okay, alright. So this is what happened. Okay, so we have a different format for different different way of writing. So if in the beginning, so our citation will be our. So for example, 2019. So if it is in the middle of a sentence, let's say the findings, okay, were confirmed, okay, by, okay, so I need to write it awang here, okay, 2019 and her team, for example, right? So this is the format in the middle, okay. How about at the end of sentence, okay? I say the conclusion, okay, no, put it something else. Okay, the theory, okay, used was actually applied to the study, okay, for example, okay, and then I put awang, comma, 2019, full stop. Okay, so can you see the difference? Okay, at the beginning and center, beginning and middle format, but at the end of a sentence, it will be bracket awang 2019, like that. Faham tak?
Faham, doktor.
So yeah, if you look at this one, okay, the one that I show you, right? Oh, no. Okay, so this one is at the end of a sentence, all right? This one also at the end of a sentence. If you have two different authors, so this is the first one, and then you separate it with semicolon, and then the second author, right? So this one is in the beginning of a sentence. So you must know exactly how to format your citation in your text, right? Right, so let's continue. So there is another thing that you need to know about citation, which is the word at all. Okay, at all means and others, all others, at and. Okay, so it means that the author write that article not by only himself but with other authors, his friends. All right. So this is what happened. So for if we have, let's say, I have the author is Awang, and also I write it with Ahmad, and then Tan, for example. I have three people. Okay, Awang and Tan. We have like three people. We need to write the name of all the authors. Okay, so for example, Awang, comma, Ahmad, N, right? So I put Wang. So for example, like this, okay. Example, I have Wang, comma Ahmad, 2011, whatever, right? So that's how we need to write it. We don't write the full name of that author. Never, never, never. Only their last name. Understand? So if I have, let's say, 5 authors, so I have Awang, Ahmad, Tan, Ali, for example, 5, right? So in order for me to write the name of everybody is quite long. It will take my space, right? So therefore, we can write it in this way. Awang et al. Full stop. Okay, 2011. So what does that mean? So I'm not the only author, but I have other authors with me. Usually it is more than 3 people. So if you have more than 3 people, we just put it at all to the first author's name. Right? Understand? Okay. Okay, macam ni, hair at all, right? So and then we also have many styles of doing our references. Okay, for UTM, we use APA, right? And then we also have Chicago, Harvard, Oxford. But for us, this is the most famous that we use in our FYP. Okay, so do I know the format of APA style? So that's the reason I want you to download, install that EndNote, because EndNote will help us to actually to do the format for us. So we don't have to, to think about the comma, the bracket, and so on, because EndNote will do that for us. Okay, any questions so far? Ada soalan tak?
Yes, doctor.
Okay. Anything? Tak ada. Alright. So alright, I give you example, yeah. This one is the APA style. So usually we need to write it the last name and then your first name and then the year. Okay, this is a reference. When I say reference, so it is written at the back of your writing. Okay, and then for citation, whatever here, when you write it in citation, it will be different format that we just discussed. But whatever you have in your citation, okay, it must be listed in your references. Okay, Lipeng, mak you cakap apa? Mak you suruh you masak ke suruh makan? Aduh, macam-macam. Alright, is everybody okay? Faham tak? Anyone?
Okay, doktor.
Before I start, okay. Good, good, good. Alright. So kita akan buat apa? This one, okay. More. Alright. This is actually how you write the reference, okay. So Jagger, whatever. So you can see reference. You must have all the names first, and then the year, and then the tajuk of the articles, and where it published, okay. So if you refer to a website, you need to write the address of the website, okay, and then the year, for example, right? So this is how you write it. And if this is a website, this one is a book, right? So how you need to write it, because every single source, source book ke, paper ke, so the format will be different. Okay. Right. So anything before we start our let's ini kita akan discuss nanti next week. Right. So we'll continue with type of journals, and then I also have like assignment untuk you untuk next week, so we can start doing that. Okay, any question before we start out with our presentation?
Ada doktor.
Ada soalan ke?
Tak ada.
Okay, thank you. Okay, kalau tak ada, let me Jun Kai, are you here?
Yes, doctor.
Are you okay?
For presenting, right? Sure, can.
No, not yet. I'm asking about the lecture. You understand or not?
Oh, yes. Because I thought I want to present, so I don't want to present already.
If you want to present also can. Huh? You don't want to present today?
I also can for today, actually.
Okay. So that's good. All right.
Okay.
So okay. Let's get some volunteer who would like to present today. Kita dah habiskan yang the problem statement untuk 4 people? Dah ke belum? Belum kan? We still have more people. They all still all. Yeah, we need to do that one first. Okay. So can those 4 people appear or show up now? Tunjukkan diri anda. The 4 groups. Okay, so let's hear problem statement daripada kawan-kawan kita, because this one is very important for before they can proceed to the next one. Okay, cepat. Siapa yang nak present dulu?
Group saya.
Okay. I think after this, one of them also ialah Yuman, okay? Nanti Yuman pun boleh ni. I think we have still 4 groups and then one more is Yuman. Okay, besar sikit. Okay, siapa yang present ni sekarang? Atika ke?
Ya, Dr. Atika Alia.
Okay.
Okay, so our topic will be about good health and well-being of workers. And the title that we have choose is actually impact of policies on health status and medical access of foreign workers in Kota Tinggi, Johor. So our problem statement will be the foreign workers were actually lack of awareness regarding their rights, and then the employers were taking advantage of the workers and the policies enforcement. And we will also highlight about the effectiveness of the policy and the enforcement of the policy.
Okay, this one you buat untuk polisi Atika?
Ya, doktor.
Ke untuk yang well-being, topik 3
topik 3, tapi nak macam well-being tu nak relatekan dengan polisi tu. Boleh tak kalau macam nak
macam mana ni? So maksudnya you nak buat macam mana tu?
Macam mana, doktor?
Jadi Atika tak apa terus. Okay, orang lain yang group Atika, you boleh mencelah juga. Jangan harapkan Atika cakap seorang, okay? So you can. Okay, by the way, next time I think all the presenters, can you please show your face? Okay, jadi saya tahulah siapa yang bercakap, siapa group dia dan sebagainya. Okay, so tunjukkan.
License
Tadi just I don't want to see just apa orang cakap just a blank ni je. Okay, so if possible please show your wajah anda. Right. Okay, sama balik. Atika, so you nak buat macam mana?
nak study pasal polisi tu, macam mana polisi tu memberi kesan kepada health status dengan medical access foreign worker tu lah. Macam tu. Boleh tak?
Okay, so yang polisi, how do you get? How do you get the policy? From which policy? Polisi mana?
Polisi ni kami yang kami jumpa ada the Immigration Act dengan under Department of sat-sat tu.
Okay.
Okay. Yang untuk health status tu, polisi tu under Malaysian Immigration Act 1959. Lepas tu yang medical access tu under ada dua government punya mandate.
Kiranya ni ada dua lah.
Ada dua.
Kiranya ada dua polisi.
Ada
Okay.
dua different macam
Bagi saya lah. Okay, saya tak mau. Okay, boleh tak macam group you hanya ambil satu polisi kalau betul yang nak buat kan? Tapi saya tak nak dua-dua. Saya cuma nak satu saja, fokus pada satu. Sama ada you all nak macam medical access ke?
Ataupun health status
Sebab apa? Nanti you all betul-betul study pasal benda tu. Jadi it's up to you lah. You nak pilih yang mana? Sama ada yang health status ataupun yang medical. Tapi saya nak yang polisi tu, let's say katakan untuk polisi untuk health status. Alright? So maksudnya ada 2 atau 3 polisi yang you kaji on that. Itu saja.
Faham doktor.
Faham tak?
Kalau macam tu kami check dulu, tengok mana yang lagi banyak, mana yang lagi senang dapat reference.
Ya.
kami ambil dulu. Boleh ke doktor?
Ada you ambil banyak tapi saya rasa you fokus satu saja.
Okay, baik. Nanti kami decide balik which one.
Okay. Okay. Alright. Pergi bawah pergi. Nak tengok had bawah pula. Okay. So. Impact of whatever.
Okay.
So saya tak kerja saya tengok do foreign workers in kota tinggi aware of the policy. Ataupun you punya tajuk lebih kepada awareness.
Okay.
Faham tak?
Apa?
Mereka punya awareness. Maksudnya sebab kalau tengok you macam do foreign workers in kota tinggi aware of the policy. Maksudnya dia orang tu mereka tu aware atau tak adanya polisi untuk mereka lah. Saya rasa lebih kepada awareness kot. Jadi maksudnya mungkin you boleh macam nanti you list down apa polisi yang ada untuk mereka untuk bahagian health ni dan sebagainya. Saya rasa lebih kepada awareness lah you punya ni.
Okay, maksudnya rephrase balik title tu jadi awareness among the foreign workers regarding the health policy.
Impact tau. It's not impact. Impact ni lebih ada impact ni macam bila nak kaji impact ni you all kena tahu macam betul-betul lah pasal polisi ni dan dia punya impact. Tapi itu is not easy. Not easy. Tapi kalau hanya nak kaji awareness katakan foreign workers ni, mereka tahu tak benda ni wujud ke tak? Polisi. Kalau mereka tahu apa ni, kalau tak tahu apa jadi. Macam tu. Faham tak?
Faham. Maksudnya kena rephrase balik title lah kan doktor. Jadi macam awareness regarding the policy.
Okay, macam awareness of the health status policy contohnya lah kan.
Okay.
among the foreign workers in kota tinggi. Contohnya.
Oh, okay. Faham, doktor. Terima kasih.
Okay. Because of health status policy ataupun the awareness of the existence ke apa, the effectiveness ke whatever lah. Tapi you tukar lah sikit.
Oh, okay. So, fokus dekat awareness dengan the effectiveness. Macam tu kan?
Tengok membantu tak depa kan. Kalau depa tahu dia apa jadi macam gitulah.
Okay. Faham. Okay, thank you, doktor.
So since you dah ni masa terus dekat SWOT, sat pi bawah. Terus ni buat yang SWOT analysis.
Okay. Tapi SWOT tu macam tak lengkap in the proper sentence lagi.
Okay. So apa you punya kekuatan?
Location tu there is a lot of foreign workers. Lepas tu actually banyak je health policy tentang sama ada medical access ataupun health status foreign workers ni. Yes.
Foreign workers.
Sebab dia ada akta juga, lepas tu ada under
ada
certain department, ada under potato.
Okay. Kalau you nak buat ni, siapa you punya respondent?
Foreign workers dekat kota tinggi.
Kenal ke ramai foreign workers kat situ? Siapa yang ada kat kota?
Hani.
Oh, dia seorang je dia dah pergi.
Dia kata dia ada kawan.
Okay. Awak dia punya boyfriend Bangla ke?
Dah.
Okay, tak apa. So, saya rasa in terms of weakness, weakness mungkin you boleh macam, yelah, you cakap unapproachable respondent kan? Ataupun maybe your problem is different culture ke apa ke, it's not easy lah kan? It's not unapproachable but actually hard to get in touch with them. Mungkin dia orang tu approachable, kita je yang tak tahu kan. Okay, opportunities provide data for the policy maker. So opportunities ni bukan ni tau, maksudnya lebih kepada you all mungkin daripada segi career you all, daripada segi you all mungkin you be more open minded, more acceptable in towards the foreign workers, something like that. Faham tak? Dan lepas tu macam gitu lah. So you tak boleh lah macam nak provide data for the policy makers kan. Okay. Threats. Okay, threats COVID-19 mungkin daripada segi MCO tu you boleh lah.
Boleh mention.
Ancaman boleh. Alright. Okay. What else? Bawa apa lagi tu? Ada lagi?
Framework tu.
Okay, people buat framework. Okay, so develop theory, develop hypothesis. Ini
general sangat ke?
You all punya ni lah kan. General. Lebih kena spesifik pada you punya tajuk kajian. Apa yang you nak buat. Macam collect data dekat mana. Macam itulah. Develop theory, you all pakai theory apa.
Okay, tak apa. Nanti.
Okay, nanti you all will check balik. Okay? Alright. Okay, thank you.
Doktor.
Okay. Yuman, can I see yours? Yuman?
I will group first.
Okay. Boleh Aina, boleh. Nanti kan saya lagi marah pula kat saya.
Tak.
Boleh.
Anissa dah tunggu.
Teruskan.
Okay, jap. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and selamat tengah hari. And our group doing employees
perceptions toward housing issues in Kulai. And the respondents kita orang buat employers.
Okay. You all rasa boleh ke dapat employers ni?
Dr. kata hari tu responden 30, maybe boleh kot.
Okay, macam ni tau. Okay, 30 tu nak cover kat mana? Kulai you all tahu ke? Nisa? Ada kenal siapa-siapa
Malini
tak
tak?
dekat Kulai? Malini? Mana Malini?
Kulai.
Malili
Kau
dan
Malini dah sibuk masak ni untuk esok nak raya.
Hai doktor.
Hai Malini, dah prepare ke untuk esok?
Tak, belum lagi.
Tak? Your mom tak masak lagi?
Tak celebrate.
Kenapa tak celebrate? Kenapa Malini?
Memang tak boleh, this year tak boleh. COVID.
Sebab kenapa? Ada kematian ke apa? Okay, sorry lah, busybody saja nak tahu. Okay, alright, Malini, since you are in Kulai, you are in Kulai, right?
Yes.
Okay, do you know siapa? Do you,
Abang saya
Do you
kerja
know many
kat
people?
Senai. So area tu kan macam banyak company. So nak try
abang
kat
you kerja dekat kilang apa? Company apa? Company apa?
something electronic punya company. Tak tahu nama.
Okay, this is my suggestion. Okay, let's say, I'm thinking like this type of people. So if you can approach many employers, okay, but I really want it you to do on employer side, okay. But if let's say you cannot, abang ni seorang je, ada orang lain tak? Your dad ke, your cousin ke, siapa-siapa tak ada?
Oh, tak ada. Tapi nak bolehkan approach.
Okay, sebab apa dia?
Kalau kita approach company pun bolehkan.
Boleh. Okay, sebab tu as I said, maybe what you can do in order to avoid in order to get 30 employers is not easy. Okay. So, apa yang saya nak, maybe if you can get like 3, 4, 5 employers, HR ke whatever ke, you interview them. So nanti kita akan bantu, saya akan bantu you untuk kasih soalan-soalan apa yang you boleh tanya dekat employers tu. Nanti kita akan jumpa, saya akan train you nak tanya apa, for example. Faham tak? So you don't have to so kita akan buat qualitative research. We are not going to do quantitative untuk employers. Unless, sebab saya rasa dekat Senai tu tak banyak, kalau the whole Johor, yes. Tapi untuk Senai area, in order for you to get 30, it's not easy. Okay? So maybe you boleh guna company abang you ke, kawan dia ke, whoever, macam you dapatkan dah 5, tapi you really interview them. Ini. So never mind, we'll talk about it masa kita nak buat data collection nanti macam mana. Alright? Okay, continue please.
Doktor nak tanya. Kalau doktor kata buat kat Johor, saya buat kat Kota Tinggi boleh? Kiranya ada 2, Kulai dan Kota Tinggi.
Sebab apa? Aina orang kota ke?
Saya
Anissa.
Siapa? Anissa. Oh. So, okay, Nisa orang kota. Ada kilang orang kat situ, foreign workers, ramai.
Maybe collab dengan group sebelum ni.
Okay, saya cadangkan.
Collab dengan group Hani.
Okay. Okay, boleh. Saya izinkan kalau you all macam katakan collaborate lah dengan kawan-kawan yang group lain. Boleh. Maksudnya untuk dapat data, tapi nanti data tu you all guna untuk topik you, dia guna untuk topik dia. Macam gitu. Untuk for data collection, kita boleh combine, boleh join.
So maksudnya
No
tukar
problem.
ke kota atau boleh buat 2 lokasi sekali?
Tak, yang Senai pun stick, Senai pun buat, kota pun buat.
Oh, Kulai bukan.
Sebab kita, apa dia?
Kita orang punya Kulai, so buat Kulai dulu tau.
Buat kulai dulu. Okay, sebab kita tengok macam mana. Okay. Sebab tu nanti masa data collection nanti kita bincang untuk data collection, kita akan pergi lebih lebih spesifik lah macam mana you all nak buat. Okay?
Okay, boleh.
Alright, sebab hopefully by end of December ni kata ni dah okay ke kan? MCO ni dia dah okay ke? So lebih mudah ke? We'll see how, okay? Alright, so continue dengan you punya presentation.
Next, pasal research objective, to identify employers' views to the importance of foreign workers' accommodations. Lepas tu yang kedua, examine how employers will affect.
Okay,
Yang-
yang macam kita bincang, yang saya bincang itu, okay? Good,
Yang doktor
alright.
suggest tu.
Okay, okay.
So, nak next problem ke doktor?
Next problem maksudnya?
Doktor nak
Saya
tengok
rasa
ke
ni dah
doktor?
cukup. Ni dah okay, dua objektif dah okay lah.
Research aim.
Okay, research kena dekat atas sebelum research objektif.
Okay.
Research aim bawah research objektif. Susunannya kena betul.
Okay, research yang kat atas. So our research question is, how far do employers think about the importance of
Sebenarnya you kena cakap dulu research question baru research objektif, okay?
research aim, lepas tu question, lepas tu objective.
Bukan. Research question.
Objective research aim.
Why don't you tukar sekarang? Nanti you
Alamak, saya tak boleh edit
macam
tak.
highlight research question dulu. Semua? Oh, okay. Tak boleh edit, tak apa.
Saya
Okay, so maksudnya research question tu you kena alihkan ke atas. Dia punya susunan research questions, research objective, research aim.
Okay, faham?
Okay. Sebab apa? Saya kena train you all daripada sekarang. Nanti you all buat mistake yang sama dekat FYP. Okay. So you kena faham. Kita bertanya dulu. Lepas tu kita bagi kita mana nak buat. Lepas tu kita beritahu kita punya aim apa. Alright. So that's all. Okay. So next apa? Okay, nanti kita boleh baiki ayat ni. Alright, tolong baiki. So how far what, okay, contohnya what do employers think about not how far. What do employers think about, how do employers what is, contohnya what is the employers perceptions towards bla bla ke. Okay, nanti tak apa. Yang ni you boleh baiki ayat je. Okay, pergi bawah-bawah. Ada lagi? Ke dah habis?
Habis dah.
Problem statement tadi?
Lagi.
Okay, it is necessary to highlight the issue of career. Okay, tak apa. Nanti yang
So ada satu
you akan hantar, saya akan go through balik lah. Okay, next one. Apa dia?
Ada satu akta kementerian buat yang disuruh ada requirement lah untuk employer sediakan accommodation untuk employee. Macam ada list lah minimum requirement yang diorang kena ikut. So kita nak investigate lah dia punya
pelaksanaan.
Employers okay tak dengan cadangan tu apa semua.
Alright, okay, good. Okay, boleh saya terima. Okay. Next. Okay.
For analysis kita orang strange and then target location kita orang dekat Kulai and maybe tambah kota tinggi and target participants kita orang guna employers.
Okay.
So communication easy sebab buat kat Malaysia and maybe
Right, okay, weakness,
lack of information.
Okay.
Ethics issues sebab maybe some of employers sebab tak kongsi ke kan.
Okay, mungkin it's not ethic issues lah. Saya rasa it's more confidentiality. Okay, and privacy issue. Kan sebab diorang tak nak reveal things kan. Ethic ni lebih kepada macam kita kena ikut certain. Mungkinlah juga ethics macam diorang tak boleh daripada segi bagi saya confidentiality lah. Maksudnya diorang tak boleh nak beritahu kan sebab itu ialah privacy dia punya tempat kilang dia ke whatever kan.
Yes.
Okay.
And opportunities, maybe ada some aware about the issue. And the ideas tentang housing issue ni boleh kita orang buat. And then
Okay. Okay, tak apa. Boleh tu.
So our strength advise government policy, maksudnya government boleh take action on employers that langgar polisi yang government dah sediakan tu. Maksudnya kita tolong government macam tu lah, macam tengok employer mana yang violate the policies.
Okay, alright.
Second, workforce shifts. There are less housing issues due to the declining workforce of foreign workers. Maksudnya there are
Okay, tapi saya faham apa yang ini. It's okay, nanti you all masa untuk bila sebelum submit nanti you all just baiki apa yang you all nak baiki. Alright, it's okay.
Okay, thank you, Doctor.
Okay, Aina.
Okay.
Okay, welcome.
Stop.
Okay, you know what, when bila discuss macam ni, how I wish that we can macam jumpa face to face dekat dalam kelas, macam bagi kat group, lebih senang kan saya nak approach you all untuk kita berbincang. Sebab macam ni macam agak sukar juga lah, macam tak puas. Okay, next one siapa? Okay, ni siapa?
Group Dini.
Okay, Dini, alright. Dini buat topik 2 kan? Dini?
Head.
3. Topik 3 Okay.
Okay, for our title is the relationship between the integral of foreigners with the quality of health of local citizen in Kulai.
Okay. You orang mana? You bukan Pasir Gudang ke?
Skudai.
Dini? Oh, you Skudai Skudai kat mana?
Yang present Fazli.
Oh, Fazli yang present. Sorry. Oh, Fazli orang mana? Skudai?
Ya.
Skudai kat mana Fazli? Taman U?
Taman Si Skudai. Taman Si Skudai.
Skudai. Okay, alright. Continue.
Okay.
Oh, Taman Sri. Okay.
Okay, for our research problem is there is no evidence whether there is a disruption of quality of health of local citizen from integration of foreign workers in Kulai.
Apa maksudnya tu? Boleh saya tahu tak?
Maksudnya kita tak ada bukti lagi sama ada kependudukan warga asing tu menyebabkan kualiti kesihatan penduduk setempat di Kulai berkurang atau terjejas.
Okay. Saya rasa mungkin ayat ni kena tukar sikit lah nanti. Okay.
Story dia terpaling titik-titik. Jadi reverse.
Okay, Fazli, sambung Fazli.
Okay, je doktor nak tanya soalan. Untuk yang research problem tu, apa yang doktor rasakan, apa ayat yang tukar tu?
Tak, maksud saya ialah research problem tu problem statement benda yang sama. Okay, research problem tu ialah in general kan. So there are certain issues that are controversial nowadays. Tak, saya nak tahu apa maksud you dengan integration dalam you punya tajuk. Kata integration.
Maknanya ni lah kependudukan warga asing tu lah kat tempat kita, tempat lokal tu, kat tempat dekat di Kulai.
Okay, sebab saya rasa dia macam kurang jelas. Okay. Okay, alright. Okay, sebab saya rasa mungkin kita boleh gunakan perkataan lain selain daripada integration tu. Okay, tak apa, it's okay. Right, sambung, tak apa, sambung.
Okay, untuk macam saya cakap problem statement ni kita bukti lagi. Lepas tu kita juga dapat mengesan bahawa mungkin penyakit ni datang daripada warga asing sebab
sekarang ni right, sebab bila saya baca you punya problem statement ni, so apa yang saya nampak, apa yang you cuba nak sampaikan ialah mengenai the condition of diorang punya housing. Macam mana you cakap, contohnya kena adequate housing, better living conditions, and then also you sebut juga kebersihan at the end. Jadi sebenarnya kalau lah katakan saya rasa you punya ni, maybe you fokuskan daripada dia punya condition of the housing tu. Dia akan memberi impact kepada kesihatan contohnya. Sebab saya tak tahulah sekarang ni you nak buat macam mana, saya tak pasti. Faham tak, Fazli? Tak apa. Okay, next. Tunjuk lagi seterusnya. Sebab saya rasa yang you nak buat ni general. Itu sangat general.
Okay, jadi research kita, kami semua sebenarnya ingin menjualkannya memberi soal selidik kepada penduduk tempatan.
Oh, penduduk tempatan. I see. Bukannya foreign workers lah, penduduk jadi you nak minta
maksudnya kita akan bertanya kepada penduduk setempat adakah
jadi maksudnya pendapat dia orang mengenai perumahan ni kan, betul tak?
Dia bukan
yang mungkin
pasal kesihatan dan
yalah, sebab dia mesti pasal kesihatan, tapi dia mesti berdasarkan dia orang punya cara hidup. Yang foreign workers ni kan, maksudnya dia orang jaga tak kesihatan, sebab kita takut dengan masalah contohnya dengan pandemik COVID-19 ni dia akan kasih efek contohnya macam gitu kan.
Ya.
Saya kena sit down lah dengan Fazli ni. Jom nanti kita mengopi kat mana-mana. Siapa lagi team you? Dan group you siapa?
Dini, Azri.
Azri. Kejap, Dini dok mana?
Dini Ulu Tiram.
Ulu Tiram, okay. Azri?
Azri Melaka.
Azri Melaka lagi?
Fizi Kulai.
3 orang je?
Saya duduk Ulu Tiram, doktor.
Okay. Oh, Ulu Tiram. Tak jauh tu, Dini dekat je. Sebab saya tahu you
Ya.
duduk di sebelah sana, saya ingatkan Pasir Gudang. Tapi saya ingat you somewhere around there. Okay. Siapa lagi seorang?
Anip.
Yang duduk Kulai? Anip.
Hafizi.
Hafizi. Okay. Alright. So, mungkin nanti kita akan go through balik ni sebab saya rasa bila tengok you punya problem statement ni dia tak fokus tau. Dia sangat general, luas. So nanti kita akan kena duduk balik dan saya kena scopekan balik you punya tu lebih spesifik, lebih fokus.
Okay, doktor. Thank you.
Sebab you kena cakap, sebab yang saya nampak sebenarnya you nak tanya orang awam mengenai kesihatan. Kesihatan ni mungkin contohnya dalam keadaan pandemik COVID-19 sekarang ni. Orang foreign workers ni menyumbang kepada COVID-19 ni lebih teruk ke macam itu. Betul kan?
Betul.
Kan? Jadi itu yang you nak tanya sebenarnya. Tapi bila you cakap macam banyak benda yang yang tak ni lah. Alright, next.
Okay, this our research question. The first one is, what is the causes of disease in the local at Kulai? And number two is, does the population of foreign worker in the local area affect the quality of health of the locals in Kulai?
Okay, see, tu yang saya cakap. Betul yang saya sangka sebab you nak tanya adakah diorang tu akan contribute the quality of health dekat ni, okay? So that one is supposed to be a tajuk. Tak payah yang integration lah apa benda tu. Research objective, okay, to investigate the causes. Okay, it's not causes, mungkin kita kena juga what are the factors, what are the factors that cause the increase of katakan disease ke ataupun whatever, macam gitulah, to identify the relationship between the population and the quality, okay. Between the number of population kot, the number of population lebih ramai lagi foreign workers, mungkin the quality of health akan turun kan.
Betul.
Okay. Alright, okay, next.
Okay, this is our scope of the study. The main purpose of this study is to identify the relationship between the integrity of foreigner with the quality of health of local citizen in Kulai. The related data used in this study is from the survey obtained from the locals in Kulai.
Okay. So you all nak local citizen ni, you all ada certain kawasan ke, macam mana ke? Orang kat taman mana ke?
Ada. Hafizi duduk Kulai. Ada.
Fizi duduk mana? Fizi area mana?
Dekat Taman Puteri, betul.
Dekat mana?
Taman Puteri.
Dengar sangat Fizi. Taman Puteri, okay. Apa yang kita boleh buat, itu dah memang kawasan bandar kan, bandar Kulai kan Fizi?
Betul.
Okay, saya rasa kalau you all nak, okay, salah satu cara, you all cuma tanya dekat orang kawasan Taman Perumahan Fizi je. Sebab Fizi agak-agak you orang masjid ke bukan?
Fizi orang masjid ke?
Betul.
Kat masjid.
Fizi orang masjid.
Fizi mana tahu dia orang masjid kan? Contohnya you dah kenal macam beberapa neighbor you, faham tak? So mungkin boleh tanya dekat kawasan Fizi je lah. You fokus kat situ. Contohnya.
Boleh.
Kan lagi senang, tak payah. Sebab saya pun nanti ada student yang daripada group lain, diorang akan buat dekat macam Bukit Permai. So nanti saya kau punya dapatan ni daripada katakan Taman Puteri, Taman ni macam ni lah. So kalau you boleh macam carikan contohnya dua kawasan. Taman Puteri dengan apa. Sebenarnya yang kalau paling best kalau ada sesiapa daripada Taman Saintek lah. Sebab Taman Saintek tu yang memang haru biru. Okay, tak apa, alright. Okay, tak apa. Nanti bila it comes to data collection, kita akan bincangkan macam mana. Okay? Alright, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Doktor.
Okay.
Bye.
Ya doktor, last boleh.
Okay. Next one.
Doktor, hello.
Okay. Siapa?
Saya Akmal.
Ya,
Akmal
Dini.
ingin mengemukakan.
Oh, Akmal. Okay, Akmal.
Ni nak tanya maksudnya
Sila.
idea
Dipercaya kat
grup
Akmal.
kita orang ni idea dia ada cuma ayat salah tu kan. Ayat salah sikit.
Macam kita kena perbaiki sebab dia tak fokus. Itu je.
Okey, baik-baik doktor.
Okay?
Terima kasih.
Tak apa nanti. Okay, sama-sama. Next siapa? Atika dah. Ira ada ke? Aina ada? Siapa ada lagi yang tak present?
Yuman.
Yuman.
Yuman. Yuman korang jangan ni. Dia dah siap dah semua.
Teacher.
Okay, Yuman.
Perform Yuman.
Sekarang ini
Yuman, besarkan boleh tak?
besar? Trying.
Sebab saya tak nampak sangat kecil. Try to
sekarang-
make view tu lebih besar. Tekan
Dia pakai
plus
phone
ke?
tu Doktor.
Oh, dia pakai phone.
Yeah.
Aduh, ini saya kena pakai apa? Kanta tau, Yuman.
Yuman boleh try landscapekan phone tu tak? Mungkin boleh kot.
Skip kan. Trying.
Landscape. Tapi kalau landscape dia terbaring pula macam tu. Ini yang which one Yuman? Problem statement
Problem statement.
Doktor, dekat Webex ni ada button zoom in tau doktor.
Boleh
Dekat
ni. Yang ni
ada button zoom in.
Thank you. Okay. Dah boleh. Barulah saya tahu hari ni. Okay, terima kasih. Alright. Okay. You semua nampak kan? Okay, alright, continue.
Okay.
So, you punya tajuk apa, Yuman?
Topik
You ambil
satu ialah
yang
topik 4.
sempat.
Number 1,
Yang mana satu?
topik employment.
Topik. No, I mean punya dia ada satu foreign workers housing issues. Second, impact on the social issues. So yours is which one?
Well-being.
Well-being. Topik 3 lah. Okay, alright. Okay, so apa yang you nak buat? Can you explain please? You memang orang Bentong
Yeah.
Are you orang Bentong atau apa? You
Bentong.
now in Bentong. Okay, alright. So
the problem statement is what is the gap between the living environment and well-being of the foreign worker in warehouse and also the factory, because public perception is that the well-being of the factory worker is underrated, and maybe they don't have conducive environment, so they are more easy to strike by pandemic and record a 3 case out of 370 samples taken.
Okay, all right. So, can you just focus on the factory foreign workers? Boleh tak? So you don't have to go, macam warehouse foreign workers tu tak payah buat.
Compare.
Focus on one.
So,
So can you just do factory sebab you cakap factory tu yang lagi teruk kan? Just one. Okay, so you don't have to do the warehouse workers, only the factory workers. Okay?
Okay.
Right? Okay, then proceed, continue.
Okay.
This is what? Second statement is what? What is the first statement? What is the second statement?
Oh. Okay.
Yang ni apa pula? Kan?
Huh? No, that one is another topic.
Yang tadi apa pula? Yang I just saw something like retailing. What is that? What is the difference between that one and this one?
That one is another title. No.
Okay, you don't have to do all. You need just pick one.
Yeah.
Okay? Because of this, you need to continue until chapter 5. Now we only finish chapter 1. Right?
Yeah, understand.
So I just focus on one topic, one specific topic. Okay? Right?
The second statement is how to enhance the living environment and well-being in terms of their hostel and healthcare. Hostel, healthcare, and living
Okay,
environment.
what do you mean by first statement and second statement? What is it? What is that? Apa maksud
The first
second
statement is second statement is because
Oh, I mean, what do you mean by your problem statement?
problem statement because this issue can affect the tourism of Bentong and also long run investment.
Okay.
And no one will open new shop here.
Yuman, you sekarang dah buat PSM ke belum?
How to actually solution? PSM means PSM belum.
P. Have you started or not? Belum lagi. Okay, alright, okay. PSM is FYP lah. Final year project.
Third year only.
Belum.
Belum.
Okay, alright. So continue. Go down.
Hold on. Data variable or the research questions.
The research question.
Research questions. So the research question is, what are the living and well-being of warehouse and factory worker in terms of hostel, income level, recreation sites, drainage system, accessible to healthcare and public transport, as well as the air quality. So the second research question is what is the way that can implemented out of these 5?
Okay, alright. What is actually your research question?
Research question. There are difference in terms of several aspects below.
Okay. I think you need to refine research question and also your research objective, okay? Because as I said, you need to focus your topic to only one specific. Okay, the first thing, what I can see, you can focus on the factory workers, okay, in Bentong. Secondly, when I look at your research questions, okay, so when you say what are the differences in living environment, that one we already, I think you can do your research question number one, okay, right? So it means that you would like to like to identify the factors of what actually contribute to the well-being of these factory foreign workers, okay? So is it their hostel, their income level, their site, whatever you have listed here? You understand what I mean? Okay, so you just keep your research number one and your research objective number one. Okay, and then what is the solution that can be done to solve the gap? So maybe this one you only later you mention in your chapter 5, but it's not going to be your research objective.
Okay.
Okay. All right. And then okay, let's go to your SWOT analysis.
SWOT analysis. Okay. Analysis. The SWOT analysis is strength. Strength. I have working experience there before. So
Where?
the connection
Working
with
experience.
HR.
Oh, you have that.
Kena HR tu lah macam.
Okay, all right, good. Okay, next.
The location is near from my house, only 6 km to arrive.
Right, okay. And then your weakness?
Weakness is time line pressure, gathering intel, gathering data in individual might take longer time than groups.
Okay, all right.
Threat is
Who's going to be your respondent? Siapa responden you nanti? Yeah, is it foreign workers? Is it the community? Which one?
majikan.
Oh, employer. Okay, how many employees can you get? Yeah, how many?
HR.
Can you get many? No? HR. Okay, so again, in your case, in that case, you cannot do quantitative study. You need to do qualitative. All right?
Okay. Understand.
Okay. Next, after that, what is your opportunity?
Opportunity. Can able to solve the when
So you say here, get help from former warehouse. Opportunity means what actually can you get? Can you offer yourself from this study? That is the opportunity in terms of your career, your experience. That's what we call it an opportunity, right? So, for example, you can enhance your experience in terms of this, problem, this issue, something like that.
Okay.
And then data storage. Okay.
uncover facts that
okay.
undermine the
All right.
computation.
Okay, all right. Okay.
All right.
All right, thank you, Yuman. Okay, just
Okay.
that you need to focus, okay? More focus. All right. Okay, thank you. I hope everybody already presented your problem statement. And okay, so what do you need to do for the next class? One, I want you to install EndNote. It doesn't matter, EndNote 9, EndNote 10, whatever available. And the second one, I would like you to find 2 journal articles, okay? 2 journal articles related to your topic. So I mean each of you, not a group. So if let's say you have 4 people in your group, so it means that you are going to have 8 journal articles. Okay, so because this one we're going to use it for our class next week. Understand? So I'm going. Any question? Ada apa-apa soalan?
Tak ada, Doktor.
Tak ada, Doktor.
Doktor,
Apa yang terpanggil-panggil tu?
ada ni.
Apa dia?
Sekejap. Our topic macam nak cari jenitor macam tak ada dekat scholar. So macam mana, Doktor?
Topik you apa? Tapi you kena cari whatever it is you, tapi you cari polisi lah. Anything yang orang buat on policy.
Okay.
Okay?
Doktor, jurnal artikel dari tahun
Macam saya kata, 2010 hingga 2020.
Okay, Doktor. Terima kasih.
Ada lagi sesiapa yang nak tanya?
Doktor, artikel tu kena publish dekat Malaysia je ke ataupun luar negara pun boleh?
Mana-mana. Malaysia boleh, luar negara pun boleh. Tak attendance dekat ni.
Tak ada. Belum keluar.
Dekat. Yuman, can you stop sharing? Yuman?
How to press the stop? Stopping. Stop. Stop it.
Boleh? Okey, kalau you ada nampak bagi tahu saya ya. Okey tak?
On the way.
Dah nampak, Doktor.
Okey,
Okay, nampak, Doktor.